All relationships have their difficulties, but being associated with a sports celebrity is likely to present the greatest number of difficulties. Welcome to part 2 of insane stories of sports girlfriends gone wild. Be sure to check out part 1 if you haven't already. And here we go. In the number 8 spot, we have TinaEaton. Relationships may be tricky, especially when your husband is a pro athlete. This is probably why Chad and TinaEaton's marriage was so tumultuous. When cops arrived at the Eaton's Washington State home in 2006, they discovered Chad with a bloody nose after being hit or slapped in the face. Tina was so apprehended by deputies, and she wasn't the only one arrested in this romance. The following year, Chad was charged with 4th-degree assault and domestic violence. He was arrested and bailed out for $2,500, and it's probably reasonable to say that these two are better off apart. In the number 7 spot, we have Kenya Bell. Miss Michigan Kenya Bell was a relatively unknown sports wife until she joined VH1's hit show Basketball Wives as Charlie Bell's wife. She was only on the reality show for a short period, but her outlandish behavior drew the ire out of her other cast members. Kenya and Charlie divorced in August of 2012. An incident reportedly ruined the marriage in 2011. A box cutter attack on her spouse was also pled guilty that year. But that didn't stop her from getting into a tidy divorce settlement. Charlie's funds, another account, and half of his NBA money were given to her, and Kenya is now engaged. In the number 6 spot, we have Tawny Kattan. Tawny Kattan gained fame as the gorgeous woman in a Whitesnake video, which drew the attention of baseball pitcher Chuck Finley. They married in 1997, and despite the odds, they seemed determined to make it and prove the other doubters wrong. After having 2 daughters together, the couple got into a severe marital argument in 2002. Tawny was accused of kicking Chuck in the shins with her stiletto shoes. He filed for divorce 3 days later, and it was a criminous. She accused him of doping and defrauding the MLB system, but none of which was proven. Tawny would later appear on Celebrity Rehab with Dr. Drew on VH1. In the number 5 spot, we have Jumana Kidd. Jason and Jumana Kidd's divorce was one of the NBA's most acrimonious. They are now supposedly friendly and no longer have issues, but that wasn't always the case. She had previously accused Jason of having affairs with strippers all over the country. He allegedly beat her while she was pregnant, she claimed, and it was in 2006 that they had their most infamous fight. Jumana had her kid steal Jason's phone from the locker room, and then she scolded him for courtside seats during a game. Then, when Jason filed for divorce, he cited Jumana's extreme cruelty as a reason for divorce. In the number 4 spot, we have Jacqueline Johnson. There were rumors that Ted Johnson and his wife Jacqueline were having violent confrontations. In 2006, both parties were detained after an argument in their Massachusetts home. Jacqueline claimed her husband assaulted her, but the following questioning, she was charged with the assaulting. The two later declined to press charges, and the incident was forgotten. Later that year, they realized they couldn't make their marriage work, and they got divorced. They seem to have avoided difficulty since they split, except for the Twitter spat Ted had called after calling Vince Wilfork's wife ugly. In the number 3 spot, we have Jackie Christie. Jackie Christie is undoubtedly the defensive face of a crazy sports wife. Because former NBA star Doug Christie's wife earned a reputation as one of the most insane sports spouses ever. As a celebrity of VH1's Basketball Wives, she's upfront in how she's kept her boyfriend safe, smelling Doug's underwear to make sure he wasn't cheating. When Doug was in the NBA, she would check the locker room for other women. When Christie was with the Raptors, she didn't appreciate him having female staffers in the locker rooms, so Jackie made Doug change somewhere else. Despite the fact that Jackie is a villain on her own reality program, has created many enemies, and practically everyone she works with attends her and Doug's annual wedding. In the number 2 spot, we have Ajok Quag. 2006 was a hectic year for ballers and their spouses and girlfriends. Manute Bol and Ajok, his nearly half his age second wife, were soon at their West Hartford home after a minor verbal disagreement between the two. Manute and Ajok both claimed that things turned physical, and they filed accusations against each other at the police station. In 2010, he died of acute kidney failure and Stevens-Johnson syndrome, a fatal skin ailment. Born in Sudan, he had 10 children through 2 women and has well known for his charitable efforts. He allegedly donated most of his NBA paycheck. And finally, in the number 1 spot, we have Carlita Hodges. Carlita was once married to Chicago Bulls player Chris Hodges, and in 1991, she tried to set him on fire. That is correct. Carlita, aged 30, was divorcing Craig, but he retained fully custody of the kids. A few minutes later, he ran across Carlita, who doused him with gasoline and threw a lit match at him. In his car, she threw a second lit match when it first went out. That also disappeared. Frustrated, Carlita hopped into his car, seized his keys, and drove away. Craig dashed into the school and contacted the cops, accused of aggravated assault and violence, reckless conduct. Well guys, thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. Be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to Support Truffle, and ring that notification bell so you never miss a video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.